I am Jessica McKnight. I am the owner of Beyond Brilliant Photography Retreats and Brilliance Key Coaching for Photographers. I am here today with Aniya Wilson, who I adore. She is one of our models, and we're going to ask her some questions about the Beyond Brilliant Photography Retreats. So, Aniya, how many times have you been a model for our retreats?
I've been a model twice now, once in Florida and another time in Costa Rica.
Yay! And what made you come back? What made you model again?
Well, the first time in Florida, I was only there for one of the days and one of the nights. And even being there for such a short time, I made so many connections and so many lifelong friends. Like I'm still talking to some of the students and the models that were there. And I drove up and spent a birthday with one of the girls, and just that companionship and friendship that grew just from that small amount of time of being there. I just loved it so much. So I had to go back.
Awesome. And did you have the same kind of companionship and friendship in Costa Rica?
Yes, yes, 100%. I still talk to all the girls that were there. I got lunch a couple months ago with one of the models, and yeah, I'm still very close to all of them. It's really nice.
And what are the things that you think are most unique or makes the retreat most unique?
I think compared to other retreats, this is more so about how the students can better themselves, but also how they can feel confident in themselves. Like in Costa Rica, there was a focus about getting rid of imposter syndrome and, making sure you're in a healthy mind space. And I think that's really important.
Did some really cool things in Costa Rica. You went surfing and you did a lot of really fun things. What would you say, aside from the stuff that you did outside of
Mhm.
what would you say were your top three favorite experiences that you can remember?
I love the yoga class in the morning. Doing yoga in the morning was amazing. And it was unlike any yoga class I've ever been to. I learned a lot during it. I loved also at the end of the night, we would have a sit down and we talked about like, overcoming things and your mental health. That is something that really stuck with me. And then just the food and sitting and having lunch and moments with the crew. Also going to the waterfall. That was an amazing experience. It
I was
was
gonna
it
be
was
like,
incredible.
Anaya, how could you forget the waterfall and the fire dance? So my favorite, my
The
absolute,
fire dancing, yes.
she was amazing. Actually, she's coming back. We have two retreats coming up in Costa Rica, but you're going to be at our Marble Falls coming up. That's a really cool retreat ranch, and that is with Pratik Naik and Bella Kotek, and that's about like gowns and crowns and fabrics, florals,
Hmm.
elaborate, beautiful things that are going to be going on at that retreat. What are you looking forward about that retreat?
Well, I'm super excited to work with Pratik again. I love him. And I'm really excited because we're going to be able to see the Native Americans do their dance and learn from them. I think that's a really cool experience. And it's on a ranch. So that's kind of cool with the horses. I'm excited for that and just the layout of where it looks. It looks like it's going to be amazing. And we're going to be like in touch with nature and like, experience stuff like that. I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's glampy, but it's also very high end. Like it's very nice, like robe,
Yeah, it's
toiletry.
fun. I'm
Yeah,
excited to go glamping.
I know it's going to be super fun. We're going to do s'mores, campfires, and just all kinds of really, really cool things. I don't want to give away too many secrets, but I got some headlamps. Headlamps for nighttime adventures. Listen, we're doing
Oh my gosh.
yeah, we're pulling out all the stops for these next upcoming retreats. Like, aside from like a really, in Costa Rica, you're out there on the beach with that dinner and the fire dancer and the waterfalls, and we just keep adding stuff, which is
Oh, in the jungle and in the monkeys too. Just like in the
yeah,
morning with the monkeys. That was an that was so cool.
I know. Well, Marble Falls will also have like chickens and goats and horses, but there's
Hmm.
also like the landscape is stunning. It's really, really beautiful over there and it's super peaceful. We have a really amazing chef coming in, so I'm super
Hmm.
excited about that. So you touched a little bit about the mental health, but can you think of any other things that the students really benefit from when they're going to Beyond Brilliant Photography Retreat?
I think they learn a whole lot. Um, It was amazing. They have the classes and then they get to shoot the models afterwards and watching the students take from what they learned from the classes and then really putting that into play while shooting us. It was really cool to see. And then afterwards, we have like a break and we have lunch and talking to the students. They're like, I didn't even know I could do this with lighting or do this. They're like, I can't wait to go home and try this out. That was really cool to see.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing that's really neat is that the models are never hidden in the background, like eating a sandwich somewhere where nobody can see. You guys are really
Hmm.
integrated with the students as well as the educators and anyone else who works there. Like everybody is integrated and doing everything together, including adventures and everything else. So I think that's very cool. Um, as a model, what would you say to another model? So aside from the students, what would you say to another model considering one of our retreats?
I think it is an incredible opportunity. Um, you learn so much about posing and just how it works behind the scenes, even with lighting and the photography. It's great for your confidence too, because you have to be quick. You're working with so many photographers, and you learn how each photographer is different with the way they direct you and with their shooting style and their posing style. So you really learn how to like adapt to different photographers and the way they shoot. And that's really good because when you're modeling, you're going to work with so many different people and it's going to be different. And to be able to adapt quickly to it will help you so much.
And I think you guys get a little bit of pampering. I try that too.
Yes, there's also the pampering. There was also the pampering. For me, it was going surfing. That was my like. I'll tell anyone you need to go on the surfing thing. And then there was the massages and the pool and just the food was amazing, amazing food.
Yeah, and each one of our models also gets like a gift bag as well. So we try to do as much as we can. You
Hmm.
also get some clothes and you get paid. So all of those things are really wonderful. Um, so what opportunities did you have as a model after you left the retreat? Did that open up some
I have
new?
so many. I was able to model at WPPI in Las Vegas, and that was incredible. So we went there, did that, and then I also did a photography like class with Lindsay Adler in New York. So that was really cool. And then from that, because that came from uh, being in Costa Rica, I just went to Pennsylvania and did a shoot in Pennsylvania. So a lot of opportunities have come up from me going to the retreats.
I love that. So some closing thoughts here. What are some things that you would like for our listeners to hear? Either it's for a student or for a model, or just something that you really want to talk about that you feel like is important about our retreats.
I think no matter what, once you first go to the retreat, there's a sense of like you're welcomed here. Like you never feel uncomfortable or out of place. At least for me, and at least what I saw from the students, it's just instantly you feel like, oh, I'm gonna have a great time these 5 days with these strangers. Sometimes it can be nerve-wracking being with new people and like you're learning and testing your skills, but there was never that energy. It was immediately like, oh, we're gonna have a great time. Let's get to know each other. Let's learn. You just have this sense of companionship. There's also not this like feeling of rivalry. It was just all like we're on the same page. We're all learning together.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's something that we really try to have is the groundwork or something that I feel is really important a part of our retreats is that everybody feels like they're on the same playing field. We
Hmm.
all have something to learn from one another, whether it's the top educator or the top model or the top photographer there. Everybody has something to learn from one another, and you'll often see educators helping pick up the plates or do things or helping models get their dress on or whatever it is. It's something
Yeah.
about
Hmm.
just caring for each other, loving one another. Um, the the last couple ones we've had were all women, which is great. Like we've had this like great sisterhood, and I think that it's really carried throughout.
Hmm.
I'm really excited because we're going to have our first male and female retreat coming up in April. So we're excited to see how that goes. I know that same energy should flow
Hmm.
throughout. Um, Anaya, you have just been a gift to our retreats. You're just a light. And we have spoken about you moving into some new roles, which we're super excited about with Beyond Brilliant Photography Retreats. Um, so thank you so much for everything that you do for us and everything, giving back and helping out. You're just an amazing person. So we're very, very grateful to have you. And thank you for your time this
Thank
morning.
you. Thank you. Thank you for letting me be a part of it.
Awesome. Mwah. I'll talk to you soon.